Governor Romney believes that with even bigger tax cuts for the wealthy and fewer regulations on Wall Street, all of us will prosper.
We should measure our compassion by how many of our fellow Americans are able to get good-paying jobs, not by how many are on welfare.
In an age of 30-second commercials, 2 minutes is a lifetime. But President Obama went on the air with a 2-minute commercial this week, an ad that got a lot of attention. Let's have a quick look.
When I took office, we were losing nearly 800,000 jobs a month, and we're mired in a rut. Today, I believe that as a nation, we are moving forward again. But we have much more to do to get folks back to work and make the middle class secure again. Now, Governor Romney believes that with even bigger tax cuts for the wealthy and fewer regulations on Wall Street, all of us will prosper. In other words, he doubled down on the same trickle-down policies that led to the crisis in the first place.
So I think that was an attempt to say, I have a plan, and maybe to say, Mitt Romney hasn't given you the details, I'm going to give you the details. Although there weren't very many details in 2 minutes, it just seems as if there were.
Right, I think that's right. I mean, he talks a lot about we're going to get more teachers and we're going to cut tuition in half, and the Romney response to that is, that's not a plan, those are goals, and you need to explain how you're going to get from A to Z. But like you said, Democrats have been consistently attacking Romney for not offering specifics, and having a 2-minute ad where you just talk about what you want to do in your second term is a good way to say, yeah, I do have a plan.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah, the ad invites you to go to a website, and I went to the website to look at it, and it's more campaign. It's Romney wants to do this, I would do this. It's not really, a document that says, here's my.
Which is remarkable for those of us, not you, who've covered campaigns for a while. You know, there used to be campaign websites or books from campaigns just full of white papers with lots of details. This is not that campaign. No.
Right, and to the extent that they provide details, it is like, kind of numbers and points, like I want to do energy, I want to do education, I want to do taxes. And I think most voters, when they yearn for details, they want to know, what does it mean for me?
Yeah.
And that's where both of the candidates, kind of have these crucial omissions of, well, yes, I want to balance the budget, but I won't tell you what I'll do to your taxes.
But Obama will tell you what Romney's going to do to you,
exactly,
and vice versa.
Exactly. They're very good commentators on each other.
But the other thing that I think we saw is that there seems to be a sense that voters want to hear it directly from the candidate, not from some voice of God announcer, and that's what Mitt Romney did as well with this ad.
Too many Americans today are struggling, living paycheck to paycheck. More Americans live in poverty than when President Obama took office. We should measure our compassion by how many of our fellow Americans are able to get good-paying jobs, not by how many are on welfare. My economic plan will get America back to work and strengthen the middle class. I'm Mitt Romney. I approve this message because we can't afford another 4 years like the last 4 years.
So this is the second Romney ad in which he's talking, or maybe the third, I don't remember.
I believe it's the second, and it's curious that we haven't seen any until just after the 47% video.
Yeah.
This is not a coincidence. I mean, he lost a lot of trust with voters after that video came out, and the best way they see to rebuild it is put Mitt Romney in front of a camera and talk about how much he cares about people.
Right. And the message was, substantively, a jobs program is, in fact, a social program. That's the best social program for all the things you want me to do.
Right, and it has one thing is, I have this plan to create 12 million jobs. Nobody knows exactly what the plan is. I mean, he can, some energy, some this, some that, but doesn't matter. And the second thing is, it's a very not so subtle reminder that whatever Obama said he was going to do, there's still a lot of unemployment, and I'm going to change that. You like the last 4 years, vote for Obama. Well, that's a winning argument for Romney that we thought he'd be making more of, and he hasn't.
Yeah. Well, and in terms of the looking into the camera genre, I think it looks like an even better choice now than after the debates, because the debates showed that one thing that Romney really needed to do was show I am not the caricature.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And those looking into the camera ones reinforce each other. Yeah, I mean, he's kind of a nice, accessible, open guy, and doesn't have evil intent.
Right. He has to be an acceptable candidate who's not going to come in and slash and burn the American middle class the way the Obama campaign has painted him. And I think these, direct-to-camera ads and the debates are his way of trying to get that across and saying these are the unfiltered moments where you get to see what I'm really like, even though I've obviously rehearsed for all of these things.
The general thinking was among the political reporters, Jerry, was this is all about turnout now.
Well, you would have thought that, but I think we're at a point where that happens on the ground. That happens out of view of us. That hasn't happened in ads. That happens with people knocking on doors, sending out flyers and emails. what you need to do now, if you're Mitt Romney, is move the needle among the the 6 to 8% who are still either undecided or persuadable. Because, and as you pointed out a couple of weeks ago, he has to start picking up soft Obama voters to close the gap. So the way you do that is you go directly to them. That's what I thought happened in the debate. That's what I think these ads are about. Go to the people who are really undecided, even if it's a small group, because we're in the margins now. Turnout happens someplace else and not in the view of the television cameras. So next week we will have that other debate. And the question of whether that Romney effect has lingered, we'll discuss that back at DC Bureau. Hope you'll join us. And in the meantime, join the conversation on Twitter at #WSJ Live. I'm Jerry Seib.